According to Wikipedia, Alan Christie Wilson, nicknamed Blind Owl, was an American musician best known as the co-founder of the group Canned Heat. He sang and played harmonica and guitar with the group live on the recordings, and Wilson was the lead singer for the group's two biggest U.S. hit singles, On the Road Again and Going Up the Country. Alan Blind Owl Wilson was born to John Wilson, who was a bricklayer, and Shirley Bingham, an artist, on July 4, 1943, and grew up in the Boston suburb of Arlington. Wilson was highly intelligent, setting him apart from his peers. As a result, he was often bullied by his schoolmates. His father, Jack, enjoyed ham radio operation, and Alan became involved as a child, but soon turned his interest to music after his stepmother, Barbara, bought him a jazz record. Some of Wilson's first efforts at performing music publicly came during his teen years when he learned trombone, teaching himself the instrumental parts from the aforementioned jazz record. Later, he formed a jazz ensemble with other musically oriented friends from school called the Crescent City Hot Five. Now, Wilson was into traditional New Orleans music and later classical European and Indian music. He was also on the high school tennis team. Eventually, Wilson quit trombone. It was around the same time that Wilson developed a fascination with blues music after a friend played a Muddy Waters record for him. The best of Muddy Waters inspired by Little Walter, he took up harmonica and soon after the acoustic guitar after hearing a John Lee Hooker record. And some of Wilson's other major influences included Skip James, Robert Johnson, Son House, Charlie Patton, Tommy Johnson, John Lee Hooker, Muddy Waters, and Bukka White. After graduating from Arlington High School in 1961, he majored in music at Boston University. His academics earned him a National Merit Scholarship and the F.E. Thompson Scholarship Fund from the town of Arlington. Wilson developed into a dedicated student of early blues, writing a number of articles for the Broadside of Boston newspaper and the folk revival magazine Little Sandy Review, including a piece on the bluesman Robert Pete Williams. Anxious to play music rather than study it, Wilson quit school after only a year and a half. To make ends meet, Wilson worked with his father as a bricklayer and occasionally gave harmonica and guitar lessons. On September 2, 1970, Canned Heat was scheduled to leave for Germany to begin a European tour. Partly due to the inconvenience preventing him from spending time outdoors, Wilson despised touring and traveling by plane. He often missed flights, and the band would fly without him while he caught a later flight. When he missed his September 2nd flight, this did not raise any alarms, and Bob Haidt assumed he was doing laundry to prepare for the tour. On September 3, 1970, Wilson was found dead in his sleeping bag on the hillside behind Haidt's Topanga Canyon home, where he often slept. He was 27 years old. An autopsy identified his manner and cause of death as accidental acute barbiturate intoxication. Although his death is sometimes reported as a suicide, this is not clearly established as he left no note, and there were 4 pills left in his pants found next to his body. Wilson's death came 14 months after the death of Brian Jones, just 2 weeks before the death of Jimi Hendrix, and 4 weeks before the death of Janis Joplin, and 10 months before the death of Jim Morrison, 4 artists who died at the same age. Wilson was cremated, and on September 13, 1970, a memorial service was held at Menominee Rocks Park in his hometown of Arlington. The service was led by Reverend William Canaday, who said, "We are using the sky as a roof and the ground as a floor, because he himself used nature's great wonders as his home." Wilson's ashes were later scattered in Sequoia National Park amongst the redwoods he deeply loved. He was a member of the 27 Club.